There are two things I want to mention before we get into the review. The first is more of a common courtesy, and I'm ill, so I'm trying to power through the best I can, and I apologise if it comes through, but I'm doing my best. The second one is, this isn't tagged as paid promotion. In some definitions and understandings, maybe it should be, but my reading is, if you've received a product for free that you would otherwise have to pay for, whether early or at the release time, then it should be paid promotion. You've been given something that you would normally have to have an outlay. Eggs and Bacon Productions release everything for free on YouTube, so it's not like I would normally have to pay to access the material. This is why I've not tagged it as a paid promotion, but I was asked to review this, so that is my disclosure. I still fulfilled the criteria of making sure you know that I didn't just come to this on my own. I've been asked to do it, but my opinions, as always, are my own. So without further ado, let's talk about They Came Down the Chimney, written, directed and starring Christopher Roberts, with voice talent of Cecilia Roberts and the dog played by Olive and Luna. So like I say, I was asked, do I want a screen link? And I was like, yeah. I was wary, but luckily the main piece released the day after that I got the screen link, so I'm totally fine with that. I do like people to be able to go and see things as soon as they've watched my review, or before if I have a lot of spoilers in there, if it's been long enough. But with this, I go in with expectations relevant to the context. I go into a film that's, in a cinema, knowing that this is a bigger budget production than some guy with his camera. I go into this with the opposite. This isn't Christopher Nolan, this is Christopher Roberts. And that's not a bad thing. I'm not saying that as any slight. But you have to understand the context. Do not expect something super, super high level. This isn't someone who's honed their craft over decades. It's still from feeling, and I might be making wrong assumptions here, but from feeling this is a hobbyist who just enjoys what he's doing as in improving his craft. And I say improving his craft. This is a repeat, or a remake, should I say, of a short from 2023. I was going to say last year, but technically it's not anymore. It's so confusing. I haven't seen that because I wanted to judge this on its own merits, but I can believe that this is probably better. There are problems with this, but again, some of those come down to maybe experience and like I say, the budget level, all that kind of stuff. It is very tight. It's, you've got to go in knowing what you're getting. But overall, I think this worked. It had some good scares. The acting was, at times, not brilliant. I will happily admit that. This isn't a slight. I'm very sorry if you feel like I'm attacking you, Chris, but I'm not at all. I'm just saying, this is constructive feedback. There are some moments that didn't work, but the crying and the crazy eyes kind of thing, that worked really well. You're very good at doing the grand gestures. I just think maybe some of the more subtle things could use some work. But overall, I did enjoy this. There are moments that I was literally going, oh God, and jumping, and I was fearful. That's the thing. If you've got me engaged, you've done a good job. There's a line 40 minutes in where it's like, and I'm keeping my effing dog safe. I love that line. It's a very funny line in the middle of all this, what is going on, because without spoiling too much, there's sort of weird time skips and things seem to happen but then be undone. And this is a common thing where alien invasions and that kind of thing do come into play, or alien abduction, should I say. People talk about time issues. So I feel that there's an element of that here. There is a backstory that explains who this character is a bit more. But then I was like, well, maybe this is a psychotic break. It could be PTSD. The last shot undoes that. But the fact that I was kind of like, oh, maybe this is an explanation. At first I didn't understand why we were given the backstory, but it made sense. And then kind of didn't. But that, again, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It's kept me thinking about it. It's kept me engaged with it. And there's definite potential here. I am quite happy to recommend it. I am putting the links in the description and a pinned comment if I remember, because I know what I'm like. But I do think people should look at this, understand where it's come from, and subscribe to Eggs and Bacon Productions. Again, I'm not being paid for this. Subscribe and see where this goes. I mean, after doing this, I didn't want to watch any more of the stuff before I'd done the review because I didn't want that to colour it. But after this, I'm probably going to have a look at the back catalogue and see if I'm right. That maybe the first one is really rough, but I can see that improvement. And I want to see that continue. So thank you for asking me to review this. I hope that you don't feel I've attacked you, like I say. It's just points that you can work on. And that's what this is all for, I'm sure. So thank you very much to you for watching as well. And until next time, take care and watch out for aliens.